What's up, Rockstars? I have a huge amount of big name, indie, you name it, I have it. We have a whole bunch of RPGs and STLs. So if you're interested in either of those, this is the video to watch, and there'll be timestamps down below. Go to the part that's interesting to you. There's a ton here, also all in the description, but we'll get all to that. Let's just dive in. Okay, so we're going to start with the RPG side of things and then end in the STL side of things. We're going to be showing mostly stuff that's available this time, but then we'll also be alluding to a few things that are coming up. That being said, if there's a campaign that you're interested in or a product that you're interested in, let me know in the comments below. Reach out, whether it's live right now, whether it's coming out. I'll be sure to take a look at it. I cover this every single week for you guys, trying to get you guys up to date on all of your RPG and STL news. For all the Kickstarter campaigns and My Mini Factory sales, we'll get to that at the end. There's a ton to go over, so let's dive in. Okay, so we have the One Ring. This is Moria Through the Doors of Durin. That's for the One Ring RPG, but there is a 5e version of this. As an FYI, they're right at almost $1 million, and they are going to go to $1 million. By the time you see this video, they probably will. There are 3 days ago at the time of recording. There'll be about a day left for you guys. So seriously, this is the time to get into it if you're wanting to. It's going to be huge, of course. If you can see here, the PDF version for the One Ring is $23. And then the PDF version for the 5e, also $23. Or you can get the standard edition, which is like the actual like printed version, for $36. So definitely very nice. A collector's edition, beautiful collector's edition for $72. So there's some actually really good prices for this, considering the IP. Pretty darn good prices, if you ask me. And of course, Moria is probably one of the coolest settings they could do. It's different than so much of the rest of Middle Earth. I think it's awesome. So feel free to check it out. I haven't showed too much of the campaign yet. As you see, the art is just glorious art. I mean, fantastic. And again, by the time the 48-hour mark comes and reminds everybody, again, it's going to shoot over 1 million. So mega popular. There's probably no easier time to get people to play with you than being like, hey, come on, 5e, Lord of the Rings, let's go, right? I mean, that's just awesome. So, yeah, definitely cool. We also have Tombpunk RPG, the Mausoleum Edition. This is really fun, and I think it's just the attitude you can see funded in 18.037 minutes. Love that. I think that's awesome. 18,000 definitely funded, 484 backers, and still 5 days to go. Again, super stylized. I love this. This reminds me of those like, it starts out black, but you scrape off the black like a scratch ticket, but there's like color underneath. You remember those kind of art where it's all colorful and neon and stuff like that? I think it's great. And again, $12 for a PDF, guys. $12. Print on demand's $15, and the book is only $29. So definitely on the cheaper side, and it looks like a ton of fun. Definitely stylized and just really cool to see. It's pretty rules light, so if you're a big like chunky rules kind of person, maybe not, but otherwise this seems like a really cool place to kind of interact with. So I think that's awesome. All right, next up we also have Tome of Horrors, Enemies of the Valiant. 41,794 raised, 41,839 raised, 793 backers, so 3 days ago. Again, this is another one. Guarantee it'll probably hit 1,000 backers. I mean, it's getting up there already, and once it hits the 48-hour mark, it's just going to shoot up, I believe. A horde of over 200 monsters and NPCs designed for Tales of the Valiant and 5th edition rules, so you have some selections or some options there, which is great. It's by Frog God Games. My understanding is they do a lot of great stuff there. And again, PDF, $25, hardcover $45. That's a very good deal, I feel, and it just looks real. I mean, look how big that is. Massive. And as you can see, cool art, cool ideas. They have a whole bunch of data there for you, different abilities and stuff like that. So the stat blocks look nice. Definitely something you might want to check out. The only thing I wish they could do is show more options. I imagine there are in the updates. If we were to check that again, everything is linked down in the description below. But 200, that'll give you plenty of opportunity to either take something wholesale or even take something and modify it for whatever theme or setting that you need it to fit into. All right, next up we have Unnatural Selection, a supplement for use with Shadow Dark. Funded in 10 minutes. This is on backer kit, which you don't always see very often. It has 79,000 raised, over 1,000 backers, so 11 days to go. This is doing quite good. Now, the Shadow Dark RPG is obviously a little bit different, but it is also just, I mean, look at this. Beautiful art, beautiful cover, just, it looks great. It looks old school in the best way possible, I think. Just awesome. You can see everything here. It just has so much. I'm not even going to list it all. There's a ton here. And of course, that special edition just looks freaking sick. I mean, that is awesome. I love it. So definitely worthwhile to see what those extras are and stuff like that. Feel free to check that out. For the price of everything, I'll click on pledge levels here. The digital edition, again, only $25, not too bad. The digital edition for complete, that is everything. As you can see, it's a ton of stuff here that you get. That is going to be $29, so barely any more. May as well do that, and most people are over the digital. If you want to get the physical, it's $39 or $55, which again is a very popular one. That's, I think, the most popular. $55 and you get everything physically. That is pretty darn slick. So there's a few high level ones here. You can go and check a look at that as well. But yeah, definitely cool. Definitely linked down in the description below. All right, next up we have just some cool minis for Critical Role. If you're a fan of Critical Role and the series that they did there, the Darrington Brigade, they do have a box set of minis coming out. So if you want to use those characters for any reason, put them in your campaign, or I don't know, whatever it is you do, just display them, doesn't matter. They have these and they actually look quite nice. I think those look pretty cool. That'll be $70 though. And this is currently, I believe, a pre-order. And this is a pre-order as an FYI, so it's not quite out yet, but it will be here soon. Now, just as an FYI, this is a pre-order, but you can already get it and then get it sent to you as soon as it's available. Additionally, that Assassin's Creed role-playing game that Kaman is doing is actually up on pre-order now. They have their pre-order exclusives here. They definitely want you to go for the all-in. We'll discuss that, so let's go on to it. As you can see, there's a lot more here than what they've shown before, and they do have the actual prices as well. $35 for just kind of the basic one, $90 for kind of a more complete RPG set, and then if you want the mega bundle, you go for $130. That does have some pre-order exclusives, including these 13 miniatures. So if you want the minis to go with it, you're going to be backing at $130. Even if you're just a fan of the IP, RPG books are so cool to be able to dive into, and the lore and all that. And they just make great kind of conversation starters or something for people to leaf through at your home. It's always very cool while they're waiting for something. If you're waiting for a game to start or whatever it is, that is definitely something that's available. There's a ton of information on here, so I'm not going to dive through all of it because there is a lot. And then as you can see, there's quite a bit, including that free app, which is, I think, really cool that they're offering that also. All right, next up, we do have Warhammer RPG books coming up. In fact, we have two. We have the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound and Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay from Cubicle 7. The Blackened Earth will hit stores in September. That's like now. And then the Uberstreak Adventures 3 is expected in Q1 2024. So more RPG goodness for your Warhammer fascination. If you're obsessed as I am with the Warhammer, whether it's fantasy, whether it's sci-fi, this is something you may want to be into. Even if you are a player of the game and just want more lore and stuff like that to accompany that, that's why you like some of the codexes and stuff like that are so nice. So definitely cool to get in on that. I highly recommend it. I think that it's awesome. All right, now for what's coming out, HellWatch Infernal Oath caught my attention just because of the crazy looking like art on the hardcover book here. Looks fantastic. If that kind of art and theme is throughout the entire experience, that sounds super cool. That is a 5th edition campaign and setting that Lion Banner Games is coming out with, so I'll link down to that. And with that, we're going to go over to the 3D printing side. There's a lot of STL campaigns and some sales I want to tell you about. Starting things out with Old Kyoto, 3D printable sci-fi modular terrains and props. This is by Project Mobius. They have a sale going on. I'll talk about that later as well. 3,900 raised, 116 backers, still 20 days ago. So just launched, a ton of time still available. And this looks just beautiful. And the price is actually great too. $30 gets you it. That's all you need is $30 and you get all of this. You can see that they have very detailed internal systems, all the open lock, so you can stack things up like that. That's what those little slots there are for. And for this theme, I think even just the empty holes look great too, but obviously you can have the lid on there, the roofs on there as well. But as you can see between the signs and then the floor and the doors and the stairs and stuff like that, it's just a lot of nice shelves and stuff, detailed stuff. So if you are playing the Cyberpunk RPG or something like that, this is going to be awesome. If you're playing Infinity and just want some terrain to be around, this is again going to be awesome. Even if you just keep all the buildings closed, looks super cool. And $30 for an entire set is actually really good. As you can see, there's actually quite a bit of stuff already. They've been unlocking stretch goals, including stuff like bridges up high and stuff like that. Very cool to see. All right, next up we have Dinoworld Kingdoms. This is an STL miniature campaign from Dinoworld. 2,000 raised, 128 back or so, 11 days to go. It is all pre-supported from Atlas 3D. They do a great job. And as you can see, these dinosaurs are gigantic. The only oddity I saw is that the humans or the main characters that come with it are like this soldier, this knight hero doesn't even have a weapon. Like none of these guys are actually armed. Right? Same with this, the Dark Elf hero, no weapon. There's a far cry from their last one, which had these like, dudes with like big Warhammers and stuff like that. So they have the regular dinosaurs here if you want that, but then they have the like upgraded version of them as well, which I think is super cool and definitely something that I think a lot of people will enjoy. All right, next up, we also have Cthulhu Unbound. Who doesn't want more Cthulhu in their lives? 5,000 raised, 137 backers, and 10 days still to go. They have some great, like, full-scale ones like this one, right? And like this one. And then they also have really cool busts as well. So these are just great display pieces or pieces to paint or to use. And I guess however you wish. I think it's awesome, though. And again, only 15 bucks. So definitely on the cheap side as well. Definitely nice. All right, we also have Pay What You Want, Medieval RPG Town set number 6. 9,900 raised, 331 backers, 11 days to go. This is from 3DP4U, and they do some great work. One of the things I've noticed is they put a lot of detail on the inside of their buildings, and their buildings often have unique shapes like this, like curved outer area here and the deck on top, just very detailed, very realistic ones. I like that the chimney is all stacked odd, but if you look on the inside, they have all the like shiplap and stuff like that. Just very fancy, very nice looking. I think they did a great job on it. You can get that for free, or you can get all of these other ones, and they do have several add-ons that you can also get if you need more. All the stretch goals look great, of course. They did a good job on all of that, but again, they do have these add-ons, so quite a few you can check a look out. You can check out all of the add-ons here, and there's a lot on offer, and I definitely think you could really pimp out your area with it. It looks awesome. All right, we also have Wargame Bases and Toppers 1.0 and 2.0. I am a backer of this one. I was a backer of their first campaign as well. I didn't get in on the second campaign because I think I wanted less sets of there. I did confirm that these expansions are pre-supported, but they're going to be adding the pre-supported to the previous stuff as well. So if you were a backer like I was of their previous campaigns that weren't pre-supported, I think only the first one was, they will be adding the pre-supported there, which is great. So back with confidence there. You're going to get all the pre-supported. They'll have been able to support it just fine too. They're just bases. They're not hard. They have some amazing looking stuff still coming up. So there's a lot of different options here. I am a connoisseur of bases, it seems like. I love collecting bases. I love having the option. And I literally have a library of bases already that I keep adding to for just the right base, for just the right Warhammer mini that I want to base, or even upgrading, whether it's board game minis or anything like that. I think it's super cool, and there's a lot of options there. And before I move on from that, again, 25 bucks for the expansion, and that's per expansion, so 50 bucks for both expansions, and you can get the other like actual sets as well. Again, a ton of bases, and they're all actually fairly different too. It's actually pretty impressive. Moving on from that, we have Age of Berserkers, printable STL miniatures. I covered this last time, but there's some updates. 722 raised, and that is 36 backers. They still are working towards funding. I think part of it was only having this guy. So what they have shown is some of these other guys, right? Like this guy and these guys. And I think that looks super cool. They also have these guys here, so a lot of very fancy, very nice looking minis here. That's actually quite impressive. So if you want some of these minis, then feel free to check them out. Help out at Indie. They aren't quite funded yet. They still have 20 days ago, so still plenty of time to do so. And again, they do great work here. All right, next up, we have a hell of a terrain. 7,800 raised, 188 backers, 15 days ago. I just wanted to show this again because I think it's great. They have all these like bridge systems, so everything's like raised, and they have these little interlocks that float the terrain overhead, which is super cool. So you get a lot of that kind of stuff going on, which I think is great. And again, it's like not even that bad. $32 for all of this. Plus, I mean, like some stretch goals and stuff. It's very, very cool. Very cool stuff. So feel free to check that out if you want like a chaos map or, RPG setting in some like hellish environment. Very, very neat. All right, next up we have HabFacs, stackable, collapsible cyberpunk scenery. 1,900 raised, 121 backers, 9 days to go. This is from Vertical Scenics, and they believe in that vertical. As you can see, you can stack them up. The top part here is like rigid, and then the bottom part can fit into that. So they stack up. It looks like they stay pretty, doesn't like it necessarily like snaps, but it does look pretty secure. That being said, I wouldn't like slap it on its side or anything like that. You might get a little kind of wobbliness, but it prints up real nice and easy. And they do have slots for the windows. Always appreciative. $2 gives you the visitor thing. $15 gives you the actual terrain set that you want. So $15 for that, and you can mix and match and make all sorts. Pretty darn nice. Next up, we have UMC2 Pirates versus the Undead. This is amazing. 5,000 raised, 50 backers, 21 days to go. This is by Black Blossom Games, and dear Lord. Okay, so the price. Let's go with the price first. $38. What does $38 get you? It gets you this. Yeah. Like the whole terrain set, a ship you can go into, the dock system, like all of this is printed. You can, it's cool. It's cool. You can get all these other buildings and stuff like that. Very, very impressive. A whole, like, just imagine the adventure you could have on there. I think that's great. That is super cool. Every level of the ship is like popular. Look at this, bar stools and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's really, really nice. Look at all of the stuff you can put into it. I'm impressed. I really am. There are some add-ons. So you get those buildings, and then you also get these add-ons down here. If we get there, right here, so you can get the slums for another 10. You can get the undying ones for 12. They'll reveal that soon. An island expansion for 11. They'll reveal that soon. There's tons still coming up, plus a whole lot of mines and stuff like that you can also get. Guys, that is huge. Again, all of that for $38 is a massive deal. I think that looks super cool. Feel free again to check that out. Next up, we have a modular tabletop, Adaptatable. This is 3D printable, and it is by GameStart. They actually were making the physical version of this and ran into some issues with their fulfillment partner, and so they decided to just sell the STLs, so you can just print out your own, both as a bonus to the previous backers, but also to help raise funds to help actually do that, because again, you don't have to deliver it. They said they're going to deliver this in October, so real soon here, and I cannot wait. I'm going to convert that to a full Warhammer table. It's not quite wide enough. Put the 44 by 60, and if I do that, it's not quite like the angles on there are tapered. So it's 44, but it's not flat 44. So I'm going to actually do that. It'll raise it up so I can put my index cards and stuff down there as well. It'll save a bunch of time, fully customizable. I can tear it down if I need to. I can raise it a little bit as well. Perfect, I think, for a Warhammer table, but you could do this for all sorts of stuff. And as you can see, it even works with the LEDs. It works with all of the different attachments you can do. That we actually just got unlocked a dice tower that we'll also be getting. This is a way to make the ultimate table. In fact, they even said you can actually extend that all the way up to a full table if you wanted to. I don't know exactly how secure that would be, but I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. As you can see, you can get up to 36 centimeters. And that's just for one of the heights. And you could expand that probably even more. Very, very cool. I am going to put it just on a table here and just slightly expand it and raise it to add the surface area. But guys, it's going to be awesome for sure. I'm stoked for this. I really am. And I think it's a great idea for them to be able to fund everything and still provide. And yeah, I'm going to have an LED on my table. Heck yeah, I'm going to. Why not? I think it looks super cool. So feel free to check that out below. I think that's awesome. And the price, $49. $49 is the early bird. I think right now it's at $98. So it's only $49, which is actually a great price. I mean, $50 for as many and as customized game table as you want. Hard to beat, to be honest. Even if you get somebody else to print that for you, that's awesome. But it's also like, it's not a hard print, right? Everything is basic shapes and stuff. It's not too difficult. That looks like an Elegoo Neptune 3 probably right there. I think it is. So that's like a $250 printer. So not a whole lot, guys. It's pretty awesome, I think. It'll be way cheaper than any game table, that's for sure. All right, next up we have Omni 2 modular storage case, 357,000 raised, 5,000 plus backers, 17 days to go. This is by Fantasy Designs, and they are on fire. The last thing they did was the display cases, and now they're doing travel cases. These look awesome, fully customizable, both outside and inside. They have these little slots here so you can, slot your minis in however you need, or different deck boxes, or all sorts of stuff. Whatever you want to game with, you want to bring your army in to play Warhammer, you can totally do that. Or if you're just collecting them or traveling them and painting, often my wife and I will go to a cabin at least once a year, spend some time together, and around our anniversary, it's great. And we always bring our nerd stuff with us. We're painting up there, we're playing up there. Something like this is perfect. And you can print it to whatever size, whatever need you have. It can do, as you can see, 3 different size options there. Looks freaking awesome. Looks great. Really good stuff. You can see all the different designs there. I love it. I think that's awesome. And $58. Not too shabby, I'd say. Next up, we have Modular Pipes and Vats. This is 229 backers, 6 days ago, 3,400 raised. And this one is another one that I backed. I just wanted to quickly show it off just because I backed it and wanted to show the stuff that I'm backing. I need a pipe set, and this one looks pretty nice because it actually like stops the pipes, like to these tank stuff. And I haven't really seen that before. Plus, I like the vats. Anytime I can get anything like round on a table, that's pretty abnormal. Normally, everything is pretty square, and that's helpful for a lot of things too. But for my Warhammer games, I think this looks great because both I can actually end the pipes pretty well, and then they have these cool vat things that I can kind of include also, which is, again, pretty awesome. Plus, bam, chimney stack. Oh yeah. All right, for coming up, we have from Aether and Alchemist, Purple Storm Dragon. A patron of mine is actually helping out with them, so that's how I know that it's coming up. It looks really, really cool, and they have some fantastic minis. Here's some of the ones that he's been printing off. I think they look really darn cool. So yes, there's a purple dragon, but there's a lot more there, right? It says Purple Storm Dragon, premium collectible miniature STL files, along with Dragonborn miniatures in 32 millimeters. So that's where a lot of this comes from. Very, very cool. Next up, we also have Valkyrie Figurine and Paintworks. This is by Chris Spots. And again, this looks super cool. I love to see what he can do with Valkyries. Valkyries are some of my favorite mythical characters. They're just very, I love their armor sets. I love their wings and all that kind of stuff. They're like warrior angels, and I love that. And finally, last reminder here for you. The summer sale is ending. This ends in 3 days, guys, at time of recording. So by now, it's literally probably like the last day for you guys. Please, link in the description below. You can save anywhere from 30 to 50% off. So many stores. There's a ton here, guys. If you are interested in anything 3D printing, now is the time to get this and save some very hard-earned money and get some amazing stuff. The only thing that's hard is not spending too much. I went through this list and I opened up like 20 tabs. And now I have to sift through all that and figure out, okay, how do I keep this to a manageable, even with 50% off, to a manageable amount? Because there's so many cool stuff. It's awesome. Feel free to check it out. Again, down in the description below. Guys, thank you so much. That is all your RPG and STL news for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found anything useful, do let me know in the comments below or leave a like on the video. That helps greatly. Thank you so much. I'll be making one of these again, at least probably about every week for you guys. Keep you guys up to date on what's available. So stay tuned for more. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye, guys.